Castle in the Wind, Tryfan, Ogwen. Good morning from the Glyders. I hope you're all well. So today's plan is to climb up the Gribin Ridge, which is a grade 1 scramble, up onto the Glyders themselves, over past Castle in the Wind, some hopeful nice pictures of Idwal, and then over to the Garn, and then maybe just see from there. So weather, it's muggy as normal. A little bit windy last night, which was nice. I cooled it down a bit and kept them away. As soon as you get outside the van when it's bad, it's just grim. So we are seeing the kitchen up there. Let's turn it around. It's Tryfan. Quite a few people heading up the North Ridge today. And then we follow that path up the side of the stream, up to the Cwm, and then just there to the right. So we're heading up to the Cwm, and then we're going to turn right towards the Gribin. So anybody that knows these steps, they make you sweat a little bit, certainly in these current sweaty conditions. But I'll just turn around and you can see the I'll just try and get out here in a bit. So it's fantastic. When this is in spate, it's very impressive. So yeah, we're on course for hopefully a nice day. Hopefully there's a few returning viewers from last video on Cwm Idwal last week. You'll notice I've had a shave, and yeah, it looked pretty scruffy last week, so hopefully feel a bit fresher with a beard trim. Yeah, there's fantastic weather today. Very muggy again. Seems to be a bit of a thing this year. Very, very muggy, but hopefully a bit more wind by the look of it on top, and that'll keep the midges off. As I noticed last time I was up on the Gribin Ridge, the midges were awful, but it's just the UK now. They sort of migrated from Scotland. They're probably just as bad here sometimes as in Scotland. Well, actually I don't know about that, but they're pretty bad at days. But hopefully this bit of wind, like I say, keep them off. Finished the first set of steps and the little scramble bit, so we're now picking the path through to the start of the little ridge. So there's two bits of it, the Gribin and the false Gribin, and I'm just going to head up on towards the football field and have a cup of tea. Over this cloud will lift a little bit, it's still low hanging around Tryfan, a little bit in the kitchen there, so we will hope by the time I get up onto the ridge that it's cleared up. Unfortunately at the minute, I'll just turn it around, it's still in quite low down actually, and hopefully that will clear. So if you pick your paths and your mountains right, even on a busy weekend, you can still get some quiet time. even in very busy places like North Wales. I could see a couple of people, at least one on the approach to the football field up the top there, and nobody here. If you pick your paths correctly, even on a busy weekend, you can have some quiet time in the mountains still. I'm up in the heart of the Glyders today, and the path I've picked towards the start of the route, there's nobody around. Look, there's no one here, which is fantastic. Obviously, if you look towards Tryfan, places like that, obviously Snowdon, you'll have loads of people today. So I'm hoping when we get up onto the Gribin, up onto the Glyders, there won't be as many people there. Hopefully there's clag lift soon, although it does look pretty atmospheric on the routes, to be fair. I mean, it is nice having some clag, but I'm trying to make some videos. I'd appreciate it if it just went away for a little bit. So, almost to the start of the scramble with the Gribin properly. So we'll just bear to the left and go onto the proper edge of it. Have a cup of tea, I think, and then yeah, off we go, climb up. A few people up ahead. There's been a few people on Cwm Idwal and Arrest. They just topped out, so I got some good pictures of them on there. Yeah, hopefully it's just starting to cloud over a little bit. Well, I don't think it's gonna do much. Might just make it a bit more atmospheric. Tryfan behind me. This next section there. The Garn. I'll just show you the ridge. So it's a cracking grade 1. You can get some half decent exposure when you kick out to the left. It's one of those you can make it as enjoyable or as easy as you want. There's a couple of little bypass paths, a couple of sections. I think it's one of the real good ones in Ogwen to start off on if you're starting out on grade 1 scrambles. Still, it's very polished. You can see crampon marks along here. A little bit greasy in pockets today. There's going to be a bit steady where I put my hands and feet. Yeah, we'll go up this little crack and over that top of the ridge there and then drop down onto the path on the other side. Coming towards the end. We're far off the end of the ridge now. A few more scrambly bits to do. Well, that's it. It's just some walking to the top. It's where you always think that like you get to the end of something, that's where you slip off. Yeah, no, so it's a little bit up off the top here, and then there's like a little cairn, and we'll get a cup of tea, maybe have a butty. I think it's nearly dinner time now. It's one thing I've learned with this is filming takes time. So what you'd usually do in probably 3 or 4 hours, it's now taking 5, 6. But I do enjoy it. So since I've been doing this now, about 6 weeks, I'm enjoying it more and more. And I hope you're enjoying the videos, and they're getting a little bit better quality. There's the cairn. No one in there. Castle in the Wind, Tryfan, Ogwen, Garn. You've got Glyderau. Snowdon just in the background there, with Cwm to its side. There's a few on the gliders here. Yeah, so I'm going to stop and something to eat. I'm going to have to start bringing a litter picker with me, all the shit that's on the hills. Yeah. So, I'll have a panad. So it shows you just how quick the weather can turn. So we're now getting low clag. I think it's just a little bank of it coming in, but it does just change it pretty quick, like, to be fair. So yeah, some warm, another top on, and a dry hat. It was very muggy this morning. It's a bit cool on top now, but I really enjoyed that scramble. I haven't done that for a few years now. No. See, and I'll take you over this way. So that's the Cwm Idwal, and then there's a path that goes around the back there called the Miners Track. Just make out round Cwm Pass there. There you can see the pig track going up. Hopefully the view's clear so you can see some good pictures of it with it. We'll see. So we're just heading up towards the last peak on this section, and we'll drop down the steep scree to the Cwm, and then head back up to a Garn. So can get pretty tricky in navigation when it's like this up here. I always remember years ago in the whiteout, in the winter, in the proper whiteout, got lost. Proper, well, navigationally challenged, I think is the one. Anyway, it strayed off in the castle in the wind and ended up on the side of it, and it's just as well that I'd done some gully climbing at my second axe and got myself out a little bit of a shit really, and yeah, it's quite scary actually. So it happened, I ended up sort of over the side of it. It just goes to prove how easy it is to be sucked into things. So that's the thing with this channel. I'm just going to be honest. When I make mistakes, or I've made mistakes in the past, you learn from them, you pass that on. Hopefully people don't make the same mistake you've made yourself. Give something back. Come down the scree of hell from Glyderau. Seems worse than it ever has been really. So pretty loose. Ended up on my arse twice, which was comical. Yeah, seen a lad I used to know from Mountain Rescue walk down with Foz, which was nice. So I'm now going to head up that path into the Clag and then up onto a Garn. But I'm going to stop at the lake first to come and have a quick cup of tea and a bite to eat. So just coming back down the northeast ridge now from the Garn. I'm clearing again. I don't think it's going to clear for a view at the summit. Probably in the next half hour I think, but just heading down the scree slope off the Garn and down the northeast ridge. Clouds trying to lift. So definitely a little bit of sun over there now. It might lift in the next sort of half hour. The people on the top. I'll be a bit steady on this bit. The view from the Garn, and certainly on the way down here, it never fails to amaze me. Back at the van now after a fantastic walk up the Gribin. That's a grade 1 classic scramble. Over to Glyderau, drop down, back up a Garn, down the northeast ridge, and then back to the van. Cracking walk. Last week's was over the Carnethi, this week over the side of the road. So that's going to be my intention, is each week try and get a video out afterwards, so it keeps in sync with where I'm out, what I'm doing. So yeah, I hope you enjoy that one as much as I did. So like, subscribe, and please share, and then help build the channel. Thank you very much.